Do-Rag Wisdom here, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Y2K 19.04.22. Memos from the Asylum, the Passover edition. I write a blog called Memos from the Asylum, and these broadcasts are part of that whole thing, because I do believe I'm living in an asylum. And this insane asylum that we live in is something we've created. Well, my computer was down. I took advantage of not viewing the news, because most of what you see reflects the kind of insane planet that we live on. Blowing up people in churches, blowing up people and shooting people in synagogues, shooting people in schools, racial incidents, some kind of vigilante group at our border, a right-wing fascist group, arresting people, holding them, kidnapping them like they've got authority. We have a creep in our White House. And imagine the fact that we think that we should re-elect this creep, someone who, even considering that, someone who's a Nazi scumbag who locks up children in cages. How do we even think that we want this creep again for another 4 years or beyond? We live on a wonderful planet we besmirch. And if we kill our planet, we have no escape except in the vacuum of space, where we would implode and die in strangulated agony. This is a naked ape-dominated world, ladies and gentlemen, and the last thing any of us needs is to end up in the insane asylum of this insane asylum. So here's some points that I want to make. It's been a while since I've been able to broadcast. My computer went down crashing and lost a lot of data. Also, I'm learning how to use a new software program. That was another thing. So if I don't get these out as often as I want, and as much as I wanted during this month, I apologize in advance. So here we are in this insane asylum world. So my first point, I do not support either Bernie or Joey. They are members of my baby bungalow generation, and the last thing we need are more baby bunglers controlling our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, all we've done is decimate the planet. Yes, I promise you, I will vote for any Democrat running, whether it's Joey or Bernie. Even if they run a pile of fecal matter, a living pile of fecal matter, tall, smelly, I'll vote for it. Anything the Democratic Party runs is better than the fascist scum traitor we now have in our office. I prefer, personally, ladies and gentlemen, a younger candidate representing those who really have their skin in the game. My generation should harmlessly go back to sitting in the park, smoking dope, and demanding free love. Leave the running of our country to those who represent the future. We have dropped the ball. You put a fascist scum, a dictator in the Oval Office, my generation? I wouldn't give you anything. In fact, all I expect from the younger generations is that when I am dead, they will dance and spit on my grave. And if I decide to have myself cremated, perhaps they can flush my ashes down the nearest, dirtiest gas station toilet bowl. 2. Democrats should stop using the term democratic socialist, and I spoke about this the other day. Don't they know that our country is totally ignorant when it comes to this term? The creeps, the people who hate socialism, refuse to realize how much socialism we already have in our country, including our Social Security or Medicare, Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act, the Veterans Administration, our highways, everything. The only socialism that slime like the Trump Party accepts is the kind of socialism that favors the rich, such as bank bailouts and government incentives for corporations. Look, Instead, Democrats should use the term socio-capitalist. That's what I call myself, a socio-capitalist, even though I know I'm a socialist. Anytime many in our country see the word capitalist or capitalism, they slip into orgastic ecstasy. Oh, oh, capitalism! Oh, money! Oh, money! A socio-capitalist is the same thing as a democratic socialist. Bernie Sanders is a socio-capitalist. Both believe in the concept of commodities and private property, but they also believe in sharing the wealth. Socio-capitalists believe in sharing the wealth and promoting government-funded social programs as well as regulations against businesses that would exploit the workers or pollute us, our planet. As we all know, words have power. The hypocrisy regarding the word socialism is renowned. There was a time, when I was growing up, when the GOP had a blood oath against Russian communism, which itself is a betrayal of true socialism. Now that the Russians are fascist, these GOP creeps, really Trumpist creeps, love them. 3, and I've spoken about this before, I'm obsessed about it because I hate to see these young people, all these people being screwed. The way they run these TV seasons now. The creators and producers of Game of Thrones can kiss my senior citizen old F buttocks. I am sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but at 68 plus, I no longer have the time to devote 10 years of what is remaining of my life to being jerked off. That's right, jerked off in the wrong way. There was no reason for this masterpiece of cruelty, the Game of Thrones, to be on as long as it was. And there was absolutely no reason for HBO and Thrones to keep us waiting close to 2 years for the final, measly 6 episodes finale. Why did we have to wait so long, friends? George R.R. Martin was making it up as he went along. HBO wants to make extra money off the additional DVD discs and Blu-ray disc fans will buy. Whatever the reason, it is crap. Well, everybody's busy watching the Game of Thrones and, whatever, which I'll, take care of in 6 weeks. We'll talk about that in a minute. I am watching the 5-year epic Babylon 5 right now. It's about the 4th time I've watched it all the way through. The creators of that show, Michael Straczynski, produced 5 strong seasons of 22 episodes each. That's Babylon 5. Came out in the 90s. Straczynski did not split the last season in half as David Chase did with The Sopranos, as Vince Gilligan did with Breaking Bad, as Matthew Weiner did with Mad Men. A TV season, and when it occurs, and how many episodes its shows have is like a contract with the viewers. The show comes on this time every year, and it has this many episodes. Showrunners today have no such contract. They run their shows whenever they want, with varied amounts of episodes. They have seasons, new TV seasons all year, except, when I was young, in the fall only, right? All year. The winter season, the winter finale, the spring season, the summer season. What do they want us sitting in the house all year watching TV? I guess that's the best thing to do, because when we go out these days, we get shot up by some maniac in the shopping mall, the movie theater, or in the place of worship that some people go to. Personally, at my age, I go for the limited run miniseries, because I love the long-form movie. I always love the long-form movie, but not something that's going to take up the rest of my miserable life. HBO and Game of Thrones, again, can kiss my buttock. I refuse to have them dish out the last of Game of Thrones in baby spoonful portions. Well, this baby just broke out of his Ramsay Bolton torture crib. And I am waiting 6 weeks from now, if I'm still alive, to watch the entire 6-episode season in marathon fashion. Nope, I do not use the expression binge viewing. It has a bad connotation. You binge on booze or other stuff that may be bad for you. But you watch movies, and if you spend hours doing it as I've done, that is a marathon, not a binge. Now, if I decide to watch a movie in marathon fashion, well, drinking a ton of booze until I vomit, that qualifies as a binge. But since I'm viewing a movie too, that is also a marathon binge, if you will. And 4, I am presently reading the Mueller report, and it is clear to me from what I've read so far that Mueller did not in any way vindicate the Trump creep. In fact, the report makes this creep look worse, and we'll talk about this further. And who to vote for, number 5? And should we impeach? Coming up soon in this local theater, broadcasting out of our worldwide Naked Ape Insane Asylum.